Today's shout out and salute goes to who else? HEB. Thank you so much, everybody that's a part of that organization. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? They're like it's a little better now, but they probably did 2 or 3 weeks straight of 24/7 stocking those empty shelves. I mean, just nonstop. As soon as trucks roll up, boom, 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 and then buyers take. So thank you for all your hard work to keep up with the demand. And thank you for even all the drivers that were bringing the product in from across country to get those shelves stocked. Hey, I want to tell a couple of funny stories. We're going to do, let me just go ahead and go to screen share real quick right now. We are doing a math video. It is on experimental probability, as you can see. Man, it's hard to follow where this, up there. Okay, we did, we're going to be doing probability all week, okay? 4 lessons and then test on Friday, okay? So a couple quick, this will be real short, and it's a simple, easy assignment this week. I'm going to show some sample problems, I think 5 or 6, from an IXL lesson that's due tomorrow. And I'm going to just show a couple pictures from HEB and say a couple of short stories, okay? And let's start with what? Do I hear crickets? Okay. Dad joke. Got one joke, just one, okay? I'll be honest. I've made up some of the jokes I've told y'all, and I've looked up a bunch of the jokes I've told y'all. And I spent more time looking for supermarket jokes, grocery store jokes, than I spent on any of the other topics I've done all year. And I'm going to say one. I just really couldn't find real good, corny, goofy dad joke type jokes. And some of them were long stories. I don't got that much time. All right, so here we go. Ready? Super strong man goes and bench presses a supermarket. What? But then they arrested him. A couple of you already got it right. Why? For shoplifting. Okay. All right, that's it. That was it. That was the one. Okay, so a couple of stories. I'm from Indiana, okay? Wife's from the valley. She went up north. We collide, lives cross paths, and here we are. And actually, I always say this to anybody we meet or talk to. As soon as I met her and found out she was from Texas, and we started dating, I was like, my ticket to the South, Texas girl, yeah. And she's like, but I like the seasons. And it is beautiful. You get oh my God, fall is incredible in Indiana. The leaves change colors. You get yellows, oranges, and reds, and light greens. And it's just God's artistic paintings. I mean, fall is so beautiful. And of course, the snow is beautiful too, when it's newly fallen fresh and covers everything with white. But what happens when you live there your whole life is it melts and cars run over and it gets dirt and mud everywhere, and you get this dirty, nasty snow, and then it gets slick ice. Okay, now it never bothered me, the slickness, because I drove on ice my whole life, so I don't have a problem with that. But it gets old, and for whatever randomness, I had a garage very few years of my life, so and you can't relate to this down here, but I'd start so many mornings, come outside, get an ice scraper on the windshield of your car, because you would have ice like this thick, and you're like, you turn on. See, the thing is, this was before they had like the auto starters and things. I'm a little older now. They have great things now. You keep your vehicle locked, stand at the window, drinking your coffee, push a button, it starts up, and the heat comes on, and you just peer out the window every once in a while. Yeah, okay, the windshield's melted. So people used to go in, start the car, walk back in the house, but people started stealing the cars. So I just run out, and that's how I wouldn't be that cold, because I'm sitting there going, and then that arm gets tired, and you go to the other one, and it's, man. And you do that while the heater's on, and then hopefully you get enough done and you can start driving, but man, and then you got to keep it all the way around the car. So anyway, beautiful, but I got old, got sick of it, and so when I said that, she said she liked seasons, I was like, oh, I'll give you a year or two, and you'll give up and we'll go down south. We were up there for like 14 years. Finally came down here for our kids to go to high school down here and retire and be down here the rest of our lives. Love it. Thank you, Texas. I mean, I love Indiana too, but oh man, thank you, Texas. I love it. Outdoors all year round. And I just sometimes you get the cold, rainy drizzle down here, and everybody like bundles up and gets those cold coats on, and I'm like still in shorts. People look at me crazy when we go to the grocery store when it's cold out. All right, so anyway, speaking of the grocery store, so when I'm coming down here for the first time with my wife, I keep seeing these big red signs everywhere, and I'm like, what's Heb? What's Heb? What is it? Heb, Heb? What is that? You know, I thought it was like a club or something, because at nighttime it have big lights on it, and this huge big building, lots of people going in. I'm like, some kind of entertainment complex or movie theater. I don't know. You know, I had no idea. And she started laughing and told me what it was, a grocery store. Now, once I went in, oh my gosh, love it, love it. So that was a funny, that was my beginning and introduction to HEB. And then part two, kids. This is how you're going to know you're old someday, okay? So think of some of your favorite songs or favorite most awesome artists that your parents just can't appreciate, okay? And I want to tell you a prophecy, and it comes true for every generation. Someday, you're going to be getting, and they call it elevator music, someday you're going to be walking in a department store, or that's right, you guys buy stuff online. That's where they used to have all the product, and you could walk in and look at it and touch it and see it before you buy it. Anyway, you could walk into a store or be on an actual elevator and all of a sudden hear one of your favorite songs being played with some soft instrumental music in the background, no vocals. Beats probably muffled down. And you're like, oh, that sounds familiar. That's my favorite song. What did they do? I'll never forget. Like, I came from an era that there was, in the 80s, had the most variety of different styles of music. I mean, they had metal, heavy metal, hard rock, rock and roll, southern rock. They had reggae, alternative, British pop, new wave. I'm forgetting tons. Punk, whatever, grunge, all kinds of stuff that came in the 90s. So anyway, we had appreciated a lot of different styles. The one thing I like about music today is it seems like it's all mostly the same kind of style, and that's what I liked about the 80s. And you could have anyone from a 16-year-old kid to a 60-year-old man could have a top 40 hit. I mean, there's just all kinds of music. It was appreciated, so I love that. But yeah, when you finally hear your music on stores, not playing the actual music, like I know working at Domino's, they'll play the actual music so people come in and sit down and eat, and they'll have like an 80s night or a modern music night, different things like that. But when you actually hear this background music where they took your songs and they changed it to background music for a store, that's when you know you're old. So on that note, every time we go to HEB, a lot of times when we go in there, they're playing 80s music. And so I always jokingly tell my wife, like, let's go out for a date, let's go to Club HEB. Because we'll be walking in the aisle and we'll be playing some songs, we'll be like, do a little, shimmy, and we'll start singing the lyrics. It's hilarious. So if you ever hear some singing from an aisle or two over, it might be us. Okay, so let's take a quick look and just appreciate, you guys have been in HEB. I love that all their stores have a lot of different cool modern architectural looks to it, with a lot of glass and windows like up at the top a lot of times, really cool. I haven't seen two that look alike. That's what I think is cool about them. They're all designed differently. It's really cool. And of course the big logo is it's like Dairy Queen. It stands out with that red with white on it. Now, you may not notice this, but they have their own pharmacy with drive-thrus oftentimes, most of the HEBs, which is cool. You can do a lot of your business at the same location. You're already there shopping, boom. If somebody has some health or wellness needs or some prescriptions, pretty cool. Superstores, they also have curbside where you can make your orders on your phone or whatever, and they'll go shop it and put it together and let you know when it's ready, so you can come and just pull up and they bring it out and load it in your vehicle for you. That's awesome. They were doing that before all this happened. Okay, that was pretty cool. And of course, also the next step they've taken is they've partnered with Favor, which is a delivery company that can do all kinds of things. They can go buy a pair of shoes for somebody. They can go do your groceries. They, I know some people that drive for Favor. A lot of the Domino's drivers I've got to know over the years, they drive for Lyft or Uber or Favor or Deal Dash and all these different things. Okay, so they get tell me stories of some of the weird, things. People are like, it's literally, some of them are literally like favors. Anyway, so that's cool. So you can actually not even go to the store, and they will bring it all to you. Okay, the Favor people. Make sure you tip them. Okay. Oh man, I will tell you, one of the coolest things I first recognized, seeing other grocery stores my whole life. Oh, weird. That was like weird. My arm just went into a different universe. Ah! Oh, oh. Okay. All right. Combo Loco. Oh my gosh. You may not notice or think about this, kids, but as parents, there's some really cool deals, and they really are sometimes as a adult consumer. Look at them and like, that's crazy. Yeah, Loco, right? But the other cool thing about it is a way for them to take some, maybe they got some overstock of some product, they got a new shipment in, they need to move some product, make some space, whatever, and they pair it up with some other deals, and they're like, let's just go ahead and make some deals. I don't know if that's been since they existed or how long Combo Loco's been around. Those are cool. But it's a great way for us. Sometimes it's like, I've never had that product, but it's a great deal. Let's go ahead and get it. And then we try new things that we would have never bought. We're like, man, now we always got to buy those. So it's a great way to get us to try things we've never tried. So I love Combo Loco. Of course, they also have digital coupons. It's they're right there with the tech game. Okay, should probably take your grocery list every time you go and try to search and see what you could save some money that you may not be aware of. Oh my gosh, this picture doesn't do justice. I know you guys have been in there. Their produce section is great. Their fruits and vegetables, man. We had one grocery store where in my hometown that was known for having all the freshest, best products in the fruits and veggies. Okay, and then you go to the other places and they'd have it, but it was all like kind of beat up and older looking. And yeah, they do a great job. Not to mention keeping them fresh while they're on the shelf. They have their little shower sprinkler systems or whatever going to keep the things fresh. Okay. Shrink down. I think I just had a couple more pictures, guys. Where's my arrow to the next picture? I can't enlarge it. It's too hard to get out of it. The fruit section, oh my gosh, they have everything so nicely stacked and coordinated. Sometimes there's things I don't even want, but you just look at it like, it's like a beacon pulling you over like, wow, look at that. I gotta go check it out. Hey, honey, I think I really want some pineapple or whatever. It's like, I wasn't nervous. All right, what else? Hey, Meal Simple, you may have seen the commercials. Pretty cool. Pre-made stuff. Chef-inspired meals and minutes. You just take them and pop them in the microwave. The commercials, I think they feature, is it firemen or policemen? I can't remember at the moment. Showing how a lot of people who are on the run, it's not just them, but a lot of us, life is busy when you're an adult. Got a lot of responsibilities trying to keep up with everything. And then carting kids all over and everything else. So we haven't had it yet, but we've been looking at them. My wife likes to cook and we eat out. That's our two things. But we're like, hey man, if we get a little busier, this looks like a perfect solution. We're gonna have to try some of them out. Oh my gosh, this is the South, Texas. Are you kidding me? Your meat market's down here in HEB compared to, I think we just called it the butcher section or whatever in the stores up where I was at. And oh my gosh, killer selections. No, that's not a good thing. I gotta zoom in to do that justice. You guys have been around me, I have issues with food. I love food. Man, the bakery section, oh my gosh. That's not even showing all the little tables around with all the brownies, cookies, and all that. Oh my god, pies. Okay, all right, let's move on. Real quick, short lessons. And the most important thing in that store is the peeps. Shout out, thank you, thank you, thank you. All the HEB employees for all your hard work and extra hours. It may not always, hopefully you got more thanks than you ever have in your life, because I know a lot of people were thanking the workers. If you never got one, then here it is from me, and thank you. You guys are MVPs for help keeping this country going and getting us our food that we want. All right, that's it, guys. Hey, when you first get into high school, get a driver's license, start wanting some gas money, different things, a lot of kids have some part-time jobs, their first jobs. It's not always what they're going to do for the rest of their life. I mean, you might have some family business and stuff you could grow up in. I mean, always listen to what your parents' advice is and stuff like that too. But HEB is an incredible company. I've talked to a number of people who've told me they went there for a part-time gig when they were younger. And the thing is, when you have a super organization like that, they have long ladders that climb high. Okay, it's a great organization where you can work your way up and learn different departments and make great careers. So anyway, but you don't have to. It can just be a great part-time gig for the summer or something. So all right, that is it for those guys. We are going to look at a few little notes on experimental probability. I think in class a lot of times I'd always stumble over the end of that. I'd be like probability, throw in some extra syllables for some fun. Okay, so the thing about experimental probability, okay, we normally deal with theoretical. Theoretical is what should happen. A die, which I just say dice, not to be confusing, but one dice is called a die. Okay, I just don't like to say the word die. But so if I had a single dice, which is a die, there's 6 sides. So any number technically has a 1 in 6 chance every time I roll it. If it's a fair, equally weighted, oh, that's so funny. I forgot that a lot of schools are trying to say number cubes because dice can be associated with gambling and stuff. So, but you know what? All kinds of games have dice. Of course, you kids don't know what board games are, probably, right? Those old things our parents have. Yeah, those are a lot of fun. All right. Anyway, number cube dice, if you roll it, there's a 1 in 6 chance you're going to get any particular side. But experimental probability is when you actually do it, okay? You roll so many times and you record the results, okay? And I think all 3 of my classes, one class was the craziest. We did a digital online with a color wheel and spun, and it automatically kept the stats for us. And as the stats happened, it showed us like the wheel changed to show you like, wow, it's getting blue over and over. So the blue started increasing to show you that the likelihood of blue for whatever reason was coming out way more, okay? Now, theoretically, the more you perform the experiments, the more the numbers will start to even out and perform closer to what they statistically should, theoretically, okay? But experimental is your real results. So for a short number of, you could technically roll a 5 times in a row. It could happen, okay? It's not likely to, it's rare, okay? But it could happen, okay? So then if you recorded 10 rolls and 5 of them were 5s, you'd be like, man, there's a 50% chance I'm gonna get a 5. Well, experimentally, okay? So that's what that means, all right? All right, there's one more notes and we are off to the IXL. What? I went the wrong way. Hold on. There it is. Okay. I'm going to need to get my little writer out here. Where you at? Boom. What color? Let's go. Let's stick with red. Okay. So here's a color wheel, just an example. We have green, yellow, blue, orange. And I tried to do it equally. So let's just assume that it's equally and it's a perfect circle, which it's not. So technically, theoretically, there's a 25% chance, a 1 in 4 chance for each color. But if I start spinning it, and let's say, I'm going to say I get a green, and then this is like tallies, okay? And then I get a blue, and I get an orange, and I get a blue, and a blue, and I get a green, and I get a blue, and I get a blue, and I get a green, and I get a yellow. Let's see. There we go. That's 10. Okay. So for 10 spins, the fraction is 3 out of 10. That's obviously 0. That's going to be 5 out of 10, kind of like I was just talking about. and a 2 out of 10. Okay. Now I could simplify two of those. 5/10 equals 1/2. 2/10 equals 1/5. I usually wouldn't go 1/5. I mean, if they asked for a fraction answer, I'd go to 1/5. I would simplify. But if I'm trying to get to a percent, there's no need to simplify because I know 10 goes into 100 times 10. So wherever you do the bottom, you got to do the top. So 10 times 2, that's 20%. I think most of us understand and know that. Half is 50%. The 3 out of 10 is 30%. And then that's obviously 0. Okay? So you couldn't say if I keep spinning, you're never going to get yellow. It's going to happen eventually, but oh my gosh, statistically, that doesn't make sense, okay? So here's how experimental probability works. They will give you word problems and they will be future inquiries, okay? And they're going to say, so I could then ask you, based on those results, what's the experimental probability of blue in the next 100 spins? So I come up here to blue and I see it's 50%. So 50% of 100 means experimentally I should get 50 based on the results. Maybe something's wrong with the wheel. Maybe Mr. Douglas has a thing under the table, he's cheating, he's stopping on blue all the time. You know, Vegas, I'm watching you. Who knows what tricks are going on in some of those places. I haven't been, I'm not planning on, but statistically, mathematically, it'd be interesting. But anyway, okay. Orange. What's the experimental probability you get orange the next 50 spins? Well, orange happens 20% of the time, okay? So you're going to try to find 20% of 50, okay? So it's going to be 10. Now, why do I know that? So this is where we did earlier a few weeks back. I have 50 and I want to know how many are going to be orange. But I already know out of 100, I'm getting 20. Okay? So then you say, well, how can I get from 100 to 50? Well, the pattern is it's half. So whatever you do the bottom, you have to do the top. What's half of 20? It's 10. So if I spun 50 more times, according to the experimental probability, 10 of them out of 50 are going to end up being orange. Okay? That's it. Let's look at IXL. We're going to do IXL DD5. Okay? Let me clear. And I can't see because I got a light here, guys. Oh, I got to first of all put on mouse. And then I can. Okay. Now I got to move this guy out of the way. Dude, get out of here. All right. Okay, so here's how the IXL is going to look and deal with these, okay? It's probability based on results, not theoretically or what should happen, okay? So the last 15 trains to arrive, let me get my, at the Brookfield station, 9 were on time. So 9 out of 15, 9 were on time. I tried to write cursive, that did not work. With the bouncing screen. Oh, earthquake! No, oh, I don't want to jinx that. I don't want no earthquake. Okay, so 9 were on time out of 15. Now, I always say whenever we see fractions, what should we always try to do? Always try to simplify. And in Harlingen, Angel would say, simplify. Simplify. Something like, I'm a little off. It's been a couple years, Angel. Shout out to you if you see this. All right. So 3 goes into both of those. So if I divide by 3 to simplify, this 3 times 3 equals 9, and 3 times 5 is 15. So now this is where I'm at. That's the ratio of on time to not on time, okay? Out of 15, 9 were on time. Considering this experimental data, how many of the next 10 would be on time? Yeah, look familiar? Okay, so, well, how do we get from 5 to 10? Times 2. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do the top. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. So if I do times 2 up here, then 2 times 3 is going to be 6. All right, all right. All right, so that's clear. They're really easy, guys. Even at the top level, these are really easy. When flipping a weighted coin, what's that mean, weighted? I mean, first I was thinking a heavy coin would be like a silver dollar. No, weighted means that it's like not a fair coin. One side is heavier than the other, so when you flip it, you are going to have a tendency to get one bit more than the other. So in flipping a weighted coin, you got 10 heads and 6 tails. Based on the experimental probability, how many of the next 8 flips would he expect to be heads? Okay, all right, so 8 is the total. Oops, let me get my writing utensil. 8 is the total. That's one thing we need to be looking at here. And they want to know heads, okay? So heads on the other one was 10. That's heads. And then we're going to have, I don't know, over here. And the total, they want to know the next 8 flips, okay? Do I put a 6 down here, guys? No, that's supposed to be the total. It was 10 heads and 6 tails, so the total is 16. Okay, so now you see it. So they want to know how many out of 8 are going to be heads. Well, what's happening here? They equal each other. They're equivalent. They're proportional. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. So whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So I'm going to have 5 up here. Okay, a couple more. Get out of the way. And clear. Okay, so now those were both first level. There's only 3 levels, okay? The first level we just did 2. Now we're going to do 2 at the middle level. Oh no, there's 4 levels because then it goes in the 70s and then 90s. So there's 4 levels. Okay. Yesterday, a car rental agency rented 1 sport utility vehicle and 2 other vehicles. Okay. Considering this data, how many of the first 12 rented would you expect to be sport utility? Oh, what? Okay. So 12, I want to point out, that's a total. We have to be careful comparing part to part and part to whole. So this is how many sport utility out of a total of 12. So it's going to be like this, sport, and this is going to be total. So I have to do the same thing on the other side. Well, at first we had 1 sport utility out of how many total? 2? No, it's 1 sport and 2 others. So that's a total of 3. So that's why I want to do these examples, because there's little tricks like this, and this is the way star problems are. And guys, when every time we jokingly, I laugh and go along with you, letting you complain and try to rebel against IXL and everything. We really love the rigor, and the word problems show you a lot of angles. I'm not saying they're trying to trick you, but they better prepare you to notice all these little differences that will cause people to get the wrong answer, okay? All right, so how do I get from 3 to 12? Times 4. Whatever you do to the one side or the bottom, you have to do to the top. So it's going to be a 4. 4 out of 12 will be sport utility vehicles. 4. Okay. So it's a little tricky, but the math is so easy, guys. I don't know if I can get that tab. Okay, there we go. Fred's Bagel Shop recently sold 2 onion bagels and 14 other bagels. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. What's the total, guys? Are the 2 onions included in the 14? No, I'm afraid not. That's a punchline of a joke. And when I remember it, I'll tell you. Afraid not. Anyway, So 2 are onion out of 16 total, because it's 2 and 14, okay? Now, what do they want us to do? They want to know onion, so I'm going to have an X on the top, out of the next 64 total bagels, okay? All right, here's where it gets a little tricky. I've always tried to point this out to everybody. So does 16 go into 64? Hey, you know what? It might times 4. Actually, it does. If you don't see that, I was hoping it didn't quite work. If you don't see it, like you don't think it works or whatever, because we do get that sometimes, what you can do is take a step back. Can we simplify here? 2 over 16. Yeah, that would, you can divide the top by 2, it gets 1. Divide the bottom by 2, you get 8. And then does 8 go into 64? Hey, I memorized that in elementary. That, I just realized I'm scrunching over to fit in the screen. I had it pointed downward like earlier because I wanted to see my Texas HEB shirt. So that's easier. Everybody knows that better. 8 times 8 is 64, but not everybody may see the 16. Hey, I didn't see the 16 at first either, guys, but I said, what times 6 could get me a 4? And I was like, oh, well, 4 times 6 is 24. So then I saw that it would work, okay? But anyway, so I did a step backwards and simplified, and I see 8 goes in times 8. So whatever you do to the bottom, and make sure you start at the same fraction here, okay? I'm starting from here. 8 times 8 equals 64, so 1 times 8 equals 8. So my answer is going to be 8 onion. Oh, man, what street was that? Either McCall? I think it was McCall. Giant onion field. We've driven by it 2 or 3 times. We roll our windows down just like they're all bagged up now. But awesome. Love it. There's not onion fields in Indiana that I've ever seen. Okay, so that's out 74, guys. Or else we just went 74. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. All right, so let's go to the next one. Oh, yep, that was 70s. That was the 70s. I got 2 challenge level problems here. This is how difficult it is. It's not really that difficult at all. It's just part to part and part to whole. You have to be careful. Are they asking for the total or not? Okay, let's look. So I have red and white spinner landed. So, okay, they just told you it's a spinner. I'm doing teaching here, lady. All right, sorry. I clicked on the wrong thing. Let's go here. It's white and red spinner. You guys know what a spinner looks like. It's like that. And they're just saying they got red and white. So, hey, I think that'll look like a little Pokemon ball, right? I put a little thing there in the middle. Okay, it's a spinner. It's red and white. It landed on white 8 times, and it landed on red 6 times. What's the total? 8 plus 6 is 14, okay? Now what they want to know is out of 28 spins, that's going to be a total. How many would you expect to land on white? I have to move my picture to see that. So I'm looking for white here, okay? So, well, what was, oh, total. I was like, what's T? I don't know what T is. T is the gossip, sir. You really need to pay attention. That's the drama. All right, 14. How does it go into 28? Times 2. So whatever you do the bottom, you have to do the top. So we were talking about white, not the red. So 8 times 2 is 16. Challenge level. All you had to do is see that they wanted to use the total. Okay. All right, one more like that. Okay, where we're going to do the totals. Here we go. Okay. So far this season, this is tricky. People that make these problems, they sometimes know they can put things up there, and your brain is subconsciously going to want to do certain things. Watch. He scored 6 goals. He missed 66. Okay. So we should label so we don't get confused. Scored and missed. Okay. Considering data, how many goals would you expect him to score on his next 84? First of all, how about he don't get 84 more shots? 1 out of 11 doesn't sound like Now, I'm not a soccer coach or player, but that sounds like not the greatest. But anyway, so they want to know out of 84 total, how many would he score? Okay, that's my X. And you might say, well, 66, I don't know if it goes into 84, so I'll simplify. I'll get 1 over 11. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. So I'll simplify. I'll get 1 out of 11. Oh, man, now 11 doesn't go in, so I'm going to get some kind of decimal or something. This is the same little trick I was showing you up front, and that's why we label, okay? 84 is a total. Is 66 a total? No. So eraser, here we go. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm not gonna simplify because that 66 is not the total. The total is 6 plus 66, okay? So that's gonna be a 12 and a 1 and a 72, okay? So I have 6 out of 72. Now 72 does not look like it fits into 84, okay? So I'm going to simplify. 6 goes into 72, I know, because I'm over 6 foot tall and it's 12 inches per foot. So I already know that, okay? 6 divided by 6, if I simplify, and this is gone now, it's 6 over 72. If I simplify, I'm going to have 1 over 72 divided by 6 is 12, okay? So does 12 go into 84? Well, if you don't know off the top of your head, look at this 72. What would happen if I added 12 to it? It would turn into 84. So if 6 times 12 is 72, 6 times 13 would be 84. So it's 13. And you guys, of course, could, dang it. What did they ask for? How many goals would you expect him to score on his next? I'm going to pause the video for a second, guys. Because you need you to just sit there watching me read, and then or maybe I don't know how to pause. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Let me minimize this and screen share so we can see. And some of you already know what happened there. I was talking ahead. Oh, it deleted what I wrote. Okay, let me rewrite it real quick. Use the mouse. Sorry. Okay, so where we left off is we had 6 goals out of 72 shots on goal. They wanted to know how to get to 84. Okay. All right, so I just did the wrong number. I wasn't supposed to increase the 12. I was supposed to increase the 6. I did the math correctly. I just I chose the wrong one. All right, let me show you. So we simplified 6 over 72. 6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into 72 12 times. Okay. 12. It's 12 that's going into 84. I changed the 12 to 13. It's not saying how many times 13 goes in, okay? Or how many times 6 goes in. It's how many times 12 goes into 84. So 6 times 12 is 72. 7 times 12 is 84. So whatever you do at the bottom, you have to do the top times 7. So the answer is going to be 7. I can't do the answer now because I did it wrong. And so let me scroll down, clear. So that's the cool thing about IXL. If you ever make a mistake, it's going to show you right here, okay? So they show me how they use the total. Draw. They show me how they got the total, like I said, of 6 plus 66 goals plus other shots on goal. And they got the 6 over 72 and 1/12. So 1/12 is the proportional ratio of goals to total shots, okay? Shots on goal. Let me scroll down. Undo. but they're taking more than 72 shots. They're taking 84 shots. So you basically just had to do 84 divided by 12. Excuse me. All right. So 7 times 12, that's 14. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 84. So it is 7 times. Okay. All right. So we would expect, now, you know, in sports, anything can happen. You have a great game, or a good game, or a bad game, or play against a really awesome defender, or somebody who's any good, whatever. So there's going to be other factors, but experimentally, you would expect this to happen. All right, guys, that is it. That was fun. I messed up on the very last thing, huh? Man, I don't know why it's so difficult here. Mouse. Help me get out of here, mouse. What do I hit? This? Trying to figure out how to stop it. All right, anyway, guys, so I do have one last thing to tell you. Here we go. So I will post 2 more videos tomorrow for the last 2 IXLs, which are due Wednesday and Thursday. And then Thursday night sometime I'll post the review. And the past couple of weeks I've posted the test sometime Thursday night. So those of you that want to get a head start, because Friday is the end of our 3-week progress report. So I have to have a cutoff time so I can get everything inputted so they can run progress reports. All right. Hey, love you, miss you. God bless you guys. Say your prayers. Help around the house. Try to get some exercise. It's good for you. Get some sun. It's good for you. Eat healthy. It's good for you. If you have any questions, Google Classroom, message me, guys. If you have, but you need to try to watch the IXL examples I do first, and then I'll help you all you want. Tell me what you don't understand about a problem, and I'll walk you through it. No problem at all. All right, peace out, y'all. Have a great week.